get paid per square higher than, the same, 1,000 houses in Texas is our 400 houses here.
So talk to me about the leads.
Within like 24 to 48 hours of the claim being filed, a photo report gets sent in, the measurements get sent in, a code document explaining if there's any code upgrades or anything missing that needs to be in there. This is why you have to install it. That's attached, and our estimate from Xactimate and a company cam.
I need to focus on what can I learn from this situation, not how am I going to try to devalue that person's game. Hey, how's it going? It's Tim Brown, and this is the Hook Better Leads podcast. And today I have the pleasure of having on Sam Kohler and Shane Michael from Vanguard General Contractors. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing everything. Good.
And they general contractors, but you guys do a lot of roofing. Is that correct?
We do a lot of roofing, yes.
And we are talking about, is growing too fast dangerous? You guys just had I'll do a recap for anyone that hasn't seen it, hasn't heard it or whatever. You guys were on Dimitri's show, and he was talking about the $17,000 or dude, my brain's too small. I can't get my head around millions. You know what I mean? $17 million first year. You guys started in February or March. And I know that this is you guys are still on your way to that, but it's pretty aggressive to even get close to or over 10 million your first year. Most people couldn't believe it, couldn't fathom. So we're going to talk about that, whether it's dangerous, systems and processes to get there. First of all, can you guys give a little recap from your side for somebody that hasn't heard your story, just so people can get to know you?
Yeah, so a little bit about myself. I've been in the industry for almost 6 years. I started off as a canvasser, worked the way up to being the president of a company. I was president of 2 companies actually, and then started my own. So definitely not new to it. I have sharpened my teeth basically on door knocking. So we're really good at, direct sales in Maryland. And then it's not like it was even our intention to go that way. What I would say to most people, for a better way to think about it, so it's as imaginable, is if you had 4 or 5 guys that could all run their own, $3-4 million company, we kind of just came together. In a sense, you could think of that for the sales wise.
Yep. And you just look really young, man. I looked really young for a long time. And I don't now, but I used to like baby face. So I'm 28 or 29 and I'm trying to sell to people, and they're sometimes there's people that are skeptical. B2B, people buying as a business is kind of skeptical of me. So I think people thought this kid's young. So I'm going to ask Shane, because you're a little older, right, Shane?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Is this kid too young to be running a company or what?
No, so I've known Sam actually just about 5 years to the day almost, probably around 5 years. And from the start, with me and my trades that I was in, I had a handyman company, general contracting company, been doing this for years, and sales as well. That's what I've done for my life, And I knew Sam back then, and we've talked these plans out for a long, long time.
For years.
It's been a time coming. And then this year, once he got it going on, I was like, all right, man, I'm going to jump over. I'm going to leave my companies basically in the reins of somebody else and get this with him, man, because I believe in him and the process of what we're going to do. And just because he's young, it doesn't mean anything. I've known him for 5 years. I know what this guy can do, and I know how determined and dedicated he is.
Yeah, we're going to dive into some of the specifics as much as possible, because I think that there was some people that are hating. But those are the ones that always stick out. Whenever you get a video, or you're part of a video that has thousands of views, there's always people that love to hate, and some of them are just spending too long on the internet, which that is a thing. But I want to kind of dive into some of the positive ones here as well. There's somebody asking about your processes and systems. What have you guys designed to manage the cash flow and production side of it? And I'm actually, if it's okay, let's tackle cash flow first, because that's scary. It's a lot of money. And to somebody like me to think about even 17,000 or
so
17 million, God damn it. Go for it.
If you break it all down, our whole system works together. It's not just cash flow, but if you want to touch directly on cash flow, most of our jobs, we collect the ACV up front. So that kind of pays as a deposit for material and labor. So the cash flow isn't that bad. Also, the way our system is set up, it's like if, everything happens perfect, we get paid 21 days after, we are initiated in the process. So most, I didn't do this, but, a credit account, you have 30 days. So if you can keep that timeline, it's really not that bad. And, our process, how we do it, we kind of re-engineered how the insurance claim process works for a lot of companies. They'll go out, hey, you got hail damage. The homeowner files a claim. You meet with the adjuster. You wait for them to approve it. Then you get an estimate and a check. And then now you come back and say, okay, well, you guys missed this, this, and this. It's actually $30,000 instead of $20,000. So now you have to wait another week for them to agree on that, another week to build, and then another week to collect. So that comes out to like almost 60 days most times. What we do is the first day when we come out to inspect the roof or whatever it is, door knock, referral, whatever they called us, whatever it is, we do a full report. So we take a hover, or like some kind of measurement. We take almost 200 photos of just the exterior of the property.
What kind of measurement do you like? Just curious.
I like Eagle View. I like hover. Honestly, hover for us, because we do a lot of siding and a lot of gutters. It's completely accurate, and I get it within 30 minutes of me.
Nice.
I've been using hover since it was owned by GAF. But
damn, I didn't even know that it was owned by GAF back in the day. That's funny.
Yep.
So now it has like insurance company investors and stuff like that, by the way.
That's actually why, maybe one of the reasons why I'm going to be switching, but it's too expensive now. It used to be free. So, yeah. But so what we do that full process. So then they file the claim, and then within like 24 to 48 hours of the claim being filed, a photo report gets sent in, the measurements get sent in, a code document explaining if there's any code upgrades or anything missing that needs to be in there. This is why you have to install it. That's attached, and our estimate from Xactimate and a company cam photo report that has annotations and like, okay, this is damage. This is a nail in the step flashing. This is why you have to pay for that. This is the drip edge and the gutter line being connected, so we have to detach and reset the gutters. We get really in depth in it over here.
And you had mentioned that also being a general contractor allows you to get paid as a general contractor on some of these things, because there is at least 3 trades being used, you said?
Yeah, so on most of our projects, I would say, 90%, we have more than just the roof going on, whether that's roof and interior, or if it's just the roof, it's roof, gutters, siding, because you have to detach and reset the siding to properly install the counter flashing and step flashing, and then detach and reset the gutters to properly install the drip edge. So, there's things like that. And we are a general contractor. There is no roofing license in Maryland. There's only a general contractor's license. So, we have to get paid appropriately, or, all that additional costs because our labor costs are more, there's a lot of more expensive in the DMV area.
And I do want to touch on some of the negativity that and it's just people skeptical. And I think some people are jealous. Hey, that's a crazy thing. I didn't even realize that a couple of years ago, because I didn't have anything to be jealous of. And then like when you do get anything, people, it's funny. Like even friends, dude. And I know that you said you stay away from drama, but even friends will say like a backhanded compliment to you. They're like, either the must be nice thing, or I wouldn't want that for myself because, I like the freedom.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
That one feels me.
The thing is that, the people that we surround ourselves are not people that are saying that stuff. The people that I surround myself are all people that mostly are doing better than me. Or they see that, they're like, yeah, that's not crazy, there's a lot of people that make a lot of money, and it's just like, whoever you surround yourselves, you're the outcome of those 5 people. I'm sure you've heard that, so.
Well, what would you say to the people that were kind of being negative in the comments about who they should surround themselves with?
Yeah, they should surround themselves with winners, and definitely spend less time on the internet, spend more time on your business.
Sure. All right, I like it, man. So there's some skepticism around the amount of money and being young. And then there's people kind of swooping in and be like, all right, the old dogs are going to hate, right? They're talking about gross sales and they're talking about profit. So I think some of the other questions were just around, how are you working to get your profit right? Is it right now? How is that changing over the next few years from where you stand? And are you focused on that profit number, not just that revenue number?
Yes. So I did the math. Our net profit is like 7.6, but I don't think that's like a valid. I don't think it's an actual valid number for us because there's multiple companies like within Vanguard. For one of them, but without a doubt, going like our intention was not to go just crazy and get these numbers or anything. It's always it was more we can do it better than other people are in our area. It wasn't really like we weren't shooting out for that numbers. We were all trying to make more money and build something for ourselves, but the numbers are really just an outcome of the service that we provided and how hard we worked. Really, what we're doing now is looking back on the year and kind of like auditing it, going through stuff and seeing where we can improve, seeing where, when our production went up and up and up, our quality kind of didn't follow that. And we're trying to do that now. We're building in more like automated systems and hiring the right people, putting the right people in place to be better next year.
Yeah. So I addressed all the comments. I just wanted to get some of those out there so that you guys can kind of, I feel like it's unfair sometimes on the internet. It's like, if you respond directly, you look whiny or something like that. And it's like, and you really don't want to spend that much time on it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
The thing for me, I'm not going to bring negativity in my life or anything like that. If someone wants to message me and say, hey, how'd you guys do this, whatever, I'll be more than happy. I might be super busy, but I'm sure we can find the time for me to explain something for you. I would just help people for no reason, but then I would rather as a community, us all be better and for you guys to learn freely off of what I have done and my mistakes that I've made, because trust me, I've made mistakes and lost money. So if everyone can just learn from each other and constantly improve, we're all on the same team here, how I see it. We're all on the same team fighting for homeowners or whatever you may want to say.
Yeah, let's talk about some other lessons that you guys have learned, maybe challenges that you've faced from growing too quick. So you said you're kind of looking back at the year. You maybe even saw a few good things in the comments of things to think about. I don't know. I mean, like maybe there is some valid criticisms or things like that. What are you guys thinking about now transitioning out of this first year into this second year that your plan that was a challenge with this kind of growth that you're trying to improve for next year?
Yeah, definitely. So, being that we grew so fast, we didn't have all the tools in place, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So we stretched ourselves way too thin. Me and Sam alone, like I'm running around selling, project managing, doing multiple things, taking care of making sure the interior work's getting done, all of that with my guys for my other business. And so there's a lot going into it. But mainly, I would say it's really the management. Going back and completing the jobs, making sure that the salesmen are keeping up on their end. But we are pulling in new management for that. The financial side, like we said, right now we're owed out like over about two something, 2.2 or somewhere around there.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. So collecting that, and luckily we're in a good financial point that we're fine. But really we're really trying to sit down now, get all the people in place, get the management in place to where next year we really take off, and that's where we're solidifying our foundation, because that's what we're really building on now, to where we're not stretched too thin and we can focus our time, and how it should be focused. I shouldn't be focused on the little things. I should be focused on growing the business and whatnot.
Can we touch briefly on the market, the specific market that you guys are in? Because I know, we talked. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. So this will definitely, for anyone that's like, oh, that's crazy. So a lot of companies in our market, I don't know other people's stuff, but I would assume that they did very well this year also.
Roofers, you want at least 5 solid lead gen tactics building chemistry. Let's say you have door knocking, referral systems, job site branding, and you add in aggressive SEO, paid ads, and boom! Smells like more leads. hookagency.com.
One, because this was the worst hailstorm in Maryland's history in 20 years. It was 3.5 inch hail, which we don't get that stuff here. And it was over a large area in Southern Maryland that has, high-end houses. So that's one reason. Also, we get paid per square higher than, the same, 1,000 houses in Texas is our 400 houses here. I get paid not to get, but 750 plus, more around 900 for a lot of different things, because we're very high, steep roofs. We have a lot of ice and water. We have code upgrades. We're coastal, so there's a bunch of different things that go into. And then also we get sheathing all the time. We kind of really learned Maryland's building codes like the back of our hands. So whenever we go to a property, oh, this is not up to code. 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 And now it changes the job from 20,000 or 30,000 to 50. So
yeah, I do want to note here too. Some of us have gone through some things that might make us scared for young business owners. Like for instance, our first couple of years not understanding tax. Like there's things where it happens where you end up owing a lot of taxes or things like that. And I didn't really understand it when I was just doing, a little bit of business. And then when I started to do more business, it was kind of scary how much money you get taxed. It feels like the government doesn't really want small businesses to grow. It's kind of an odd thing because it feels like this is such a good thing for the economy. But then you're looking at the percentages and it feels like they're saying, oh, yeah, by the way, turn back. This is a bad route. We're just going to take all of it, all that hard work. So some of us have just gotten slapped in the face by taxes or different things. And then we realized we actually had to charge more. It sounds like from the beginning, though, you guys are charging enough to do what you need to do.
And I actually personally don't feel that way about taxes. I feel like the government puts a lot of brakes and a lot of different programs in place to help small business. I think the problem is education. A lot of people aren't, there's so many grants on SBA or, especially during COVID that, a lot of companies could have got a lot of funding. I know a bunch of companies that did. But
mention a few of those for our audience.
My mom did. She runs a nonprofit, and I know both of the companies that I used to work for did. Potomac Customer Modeling, JDH Modeling. I didn't because
you're talking about PPP and
PPP, yeah.
What is it? Payroll retention credit or something like that.
Yeah, payment protection.
If you haven't checked out the payroll retention credit, that's still active for small businesses that did worse or had some effect of COVID in 2021, I believe. So, yeah, check those out. Well, you have a positive mindset about taxes. That's good. Maybe you won't forever.
No, trust me. I don't like taxes.
Okay. This guy's pro-tax. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Because it wasn't the Boston Tea Party around where you guys are or something like that? You guys aren't that far away from that.
Pretty close.
Okay. So, any other things that you feel like were challenges with that kind of growth? Would you have done it the same way again your first year? Would you have slowed down? What would you have changed?
We would have had better management in place. I think at first it was get as much as we can and can we afford the $100,000 project manager? Can we afford, all these assets? And really, in hindsight, we should have just went ahead and did that. But we were just cranking as much as we could.
Yeah, and I don't advise anyone to do that. It's really what do you want? If you're just trying to make the most money, I would say just work only by yourself and just do everything and do a couple projects a month, and you would probably make just as much money as someone doing $4 million a year that has a couple salesmen.
So talk to me about that. Why did you decide to do this instead of that type of thing? Because most roofing company owners do take that route.
Yeah, in the beginning, I did do that. In the first couple of months, the first month at least, month and a half. I sold a bunch, and then I just kind of brought people on. It was more why not? Also, I like having fun while I'm working. I like working with people that are similar mindset. So when I would go out, I'd be killing myself all day, and then to come home and then kill yourself again on the computer doing estimating or whatever, or marketing or learning more. It definitely it's very hard to do by yourself. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to at least not bounce off ideas or have someone to be accountable with, going to the gym. If I'm meeting somewhere at the gym, I'm gonna be there. Rather, if I'm just going myself in the morning, I might want to hit the snooze button.
No, I agree 100%. I like that. Let's see. I can always go back to the comments, but let's see. What would you guys want to talk about? I feel like I want you guys to own the narrative here. It doesn't need to be all responses to people that don't believe it. Who cares? Who cares if you don't believe it?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's kind of like there's that quote that says, like, people that are saying it can't be done shouldn't interrupt those doing it, or something like that. And I'm just I'm proud that you guys, two young bucks, are out here killing the game. Give me a couple other things that you'd want to talk about to other roofers. You got the stage.
Yeah, so I mean, one thing with us, we're not here to like be better than these other people are saying, oh, this is the way to do it, and this is, we're here. We want to grow the company. And not only that, but we want to grow the people we know, or everybody else in the roofing industry. I mean, the people that met us at RoofCon or wherever in Florida when we went down there for Ian for a little bit. Whatever we're doing, like we want to get as much contacts as we can, work with as many people as we can. I think the roofing community as a whole just needs to come together as opposed to going apart, because we're in the same battle here. 100%. And I want to learn from everybody else. I want people to learn from me what they can learn from me. And I like the camaraderie of it.
If we're in the same battle, I agree 100% with everything you just said. If we're in the same battle, who's the enemy?
The insurance company, for sure. If you're doing insurance restoration, they always. I don't think insurance companies are. There are some that are the worst, but I meet with people that are great every day. So you're always going to find your bad apples. You're always going to have good people. But when people, like, some of the stuff that happens though is criminal, and it's crazy. Just alone, some of this money that is out there in the world is not because of a homeowner's fault. It's not even our fault. It's just the insurance company that just won't answer the phone. We've had the home, so that's wrong. But that's like almost like delaying payment purposely, But
no, I think that I've seen like leaks of things where like they definitely do that for sure. Like,
no, they definitely do that. And I can tell from firsthand experience.
Yeah. But also, so it's kind of funny though, because as a roofing contractor, you're living off insurance money. That if there was no insurance, if every single roof had to be purchased, like without insurance, no monthly, it would be hard. We'd probably sell less roofs on average, maybe. I don't know though. But then, it's same with like us and Google. Like, the enemy is Google sometimes, because Google's kind of like, it's this giant unfeeling corporation that will just spend all your money on ads if you just like let it. And then on the other hand, we don't want it to die. I don't want insurance companies to die.
Yeah,
what I mean? It feels similar.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you said that, because that is something in our business that we're trying to grow off of. However, we might be really good at helping people or whatever it is that you would want to say. We're trying to add in different like sectors of our business that bring in money. Whether that's like we do a lot of like custom gutters. We're trying to do way more interior stuff. We're trying to provide all the services we can so that it's not just like one solid thing bringing us up. It's multiple things. So if something goes bad, we still have everything going in a forward direction.
I feel like you could, like, okay, I know that we're not battling the other roofing companies, but I feel like if you could convince them all to be antagonistic towards insurance companies all the time, you'd actually win more business, because then you could just be the nice guy. You could be like, hey, yeah, get mad at them, And then on the side, you could be like with insurance agents, like giving them, sitting them down for coffee and food and shit. And hey,
hey, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. But
I'm just kidding. We should all be nicer to insurance companies.
That's what I was about to say. How about everyone on every side just do better, and just who we're really if you're on any side of an insurance deal, whatever it is, whether you're a contractor not associated with the insurance company at all, or the insurance company not associated with the contractor at all, your customer is still the homeowner. Both of your guys' customer. So I don't know why people are fighting each other about helping someone. It makes zero sense to me. So I'm not the guy that's going to say, oh, they're all wrong or fuck them or whatever. I'm going to say if it's a logical person and I'm dealing with them and they're normal, we're not going to have any problems at all, you know?
Yeah. So you guys grew very quickly. I think one of the questions I had right away was, all right, where'd the leads come from? So talk to me about the leads, what you guys have done for lead generation, how you think about lead generation. That's a lot of business. I went out on my own originally because I'm like, I know how to create leads. And that felt like the only important thing when I first started. Like, if I know how to create leads, then I know how to create a business, right? So nothing.
Yeah.
I eventually figured out there's a lot of other things I got to learn, but it's, you guys obviously have a little bit of a machine there. So what is it? How are you getting it?
One thing, I mean, to be completely honest, door knocking is just weird. I mean, that's the start. And once we get into a neighborhood, especially the neighborhoods we go after the more upscale if we can. I mean, we'll do everybody. Don't get us
Shane,
wrong.
it's you door knocking, and then do you have other people on your team?
Door knock plenty. Now, mostly, to be honest, mine are all either organic or I'm going to a job. And then I'm just like literally knocking like 4 doors down and just, 1 or 2 knocks. And I'm not going out like that. I could go out every day and just sling them.
But you got other people doing that, or how many people are doing that?
Other people doing that right now. Where we got 6.
Yeah.
About.
How do you keep them accountable? How many are they supposed to knock a day? What is the rhythm on this?
It's time you rethink roofing.
That's one thing that we're the newer guys that we are bringing on. We're trying to keep better track of that and everything. But we have some guys that are just go-getters, man. I mean, to be honest with you, and they're on the same level as us, and they know that for us, we all want to become successful together. It's not like we're just trying to get rich over here and not help these guys out. Like, these guys want to go on future ventures with us with other business models and whatever else.
What kind of incentives? What is the pay structure for these guys, if you don't mind me asking?
It's very aggressive, So I pay definitely more than anyone does around here. That's for sure. But if the quality of people are much better, so I say that good split. It just depends how you do it. If you're trying to have people that can run a business themselves, selling for you and selling multiple millions, you have to pay them fairly. So I do 50%. Just split even 50. And then, but if you're just a guy that goes out and inspects roofs that are already set up and you like sign people up, but you could have a team of just people inspecting roofs and then just us at the house calling or at the office just calling and closing the deals. I say a fair is 10% of the total for those guys. There's there's a bunch of ways you can structure salesmen and set up like sales organizations.
I like how simple that is, though.
What happened?
I like how simple that is.
Yeah, I try to make it super simple.
I feel like if you make it too complex, it's demotivating as a salesperson.
Yeah, and what he's saying too is there's so many, like we're starting a couple companies next year too. So the people that really show themselves and say, hey, you are show that they're the kind of people that we want. They have racked up enough money to come in as partners next year on other ventures. So that's kind of what we're all trying to constantly improve each other. So
yeah, I want to note I've heard of companies that the people get demotivated. You guys could just be hanging out with all ballers, and that's amazing. However, sometimes a clunker mixes in, and that happens. Like sometimes, like by fall, they're sick of the work. They racked up money. They got 120, 170, whatever it is. Whatever, and some people just go, all right, I'm kind of done. I'm like, this is a lot of money. I'm good. I don't want to manage shit, or I'm managing the stuff, and I don't want to sell anything else new. So how do you what happens in situations like that for you guys?
So, I mean, everyone is always going to deal with that. One way that you can deal with that is if you have a culture that you guys are constantly. So what does the regular person do with money? They don't really reinvest it. They kind of save it, use it as expenses. But if you're constantly you make a check of $30K, take 20, invest it, live off of 10. So if you're doing that way, you don't really have money sitting in your account, so you don't get as lazy. It's not like you have vacation money. You have money that's working for you to make other money that's like you don't even touch for 10 years. And then you have the money that you live off of. And then after that, you don't really have that much money left over. So you constantly do.
You were an owner where you didn't. I feel like you're good at vetting out winners and maybe getting rid of people that are not doing the stuff.
Yeah, you have to.
So my question for you is, what can you give some encouragement for an owner out there that maybe has a salesperson that they think they should be getting rid of, or do you think they should? I'm guessing you think they should chop somebody like that. If somebody's kind of.
You can't say it depends on the position of the owner. Like if you got 4 sales guys and he's making up, 15% of your income, and you're just going to cut him out, and that's a hard one. Yeah. You can't. I'm not going to go sit there and tell somebody.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't matter that much because they're not really. But the only thing is that could hold back the culture.
True, it does hold back the culture if you keep them all. If they're all tight knit together like that. If they're
I'm not really a brutal guy, so I couldn't call it either. But I don't know.
I feel like if we call the majority, if we have the majority of winners, they usually bring the other people up. It's like who you surround yourself with again. Yeah. So if we have 4 winners and there's one guy that's not as much, he's going to be more motivated than if there's, and that'll happen. But people that we're bringing on forthcoming, and we're making sure it's people that actually have been wanting to come here, and like anybody that we've hired isn't like a 2-week thing, like it's been months in the making or whatnot, and they know coming in like what's going on, what's going to happen.
So people ask, hey, can I get a job? And we're like, yeah, okay. And then like after they ask for like 4 or 5 months, then we'll be like, yeah, you can, or we'll set up a position for them. But we haven't had done any Indeed or anything like that. What I would say is, should you fire that person or not? I mean, it really depends on the person and depends what you're trying to get. If they're like going through something, I don't think you should fire them. I have people going through stuff right now where they're not like working every day, but they're dealing with like a situation. So for that person, I would never fire someone over that. But if they're just like perpetually going down the toilet, you have to get rid of them, or they're going to take other people with them.
Well, let's talk about, let's say there's somebody that's in the 3 to 5 million range and they've been trying to push it up to 7 or 10, but they got stuck somewhere along the way. If you were just consulting with somebody like that, what would you ask? What would you be looking for to try to diagnose what's going on?
I would ask how many salesmen they have. And if it's 3 to 5 and it's more than like 3 people, I would tell them your problem right there is you don't have anyone that's actually selling. Well, it's also say if they were in my market, I would be like, well, you don't have the right people. Yeah. If you're like a $3 to $5 million company and you have 2 or 3 salesmen, just reinvest in the salesmen and get them to a position where they can sell more. They're better at selling. They have a higher closing rate. That's way better time. If you already have the right people, reinvest in them, make them better, and then looking for someone that's going to help you. The grass is greener where you water it,
Good advice. Good advice. How about you, Shane? What would you say for a company like that was kind of stuck at that 3 to 5 and wanted to break free?
Like Sam was saying, the training thing, man. There's so many ways to take advantage of this roofing industry. With Facebook and connecting with people and going to discontinuation classes, whether it's that or getting with Adam Bensman and learning his strategy with roof strategists or the roof hustler. There's so many different ways. Marketing, you got to spend money to make money. You know what I mean? And if you're, like you said, if it is like the 3 guys and they're producing that close to that much, just think they really fine tune.
Yeah.
If they really got the pieces, or they need to bring somebody on to help take care of making the phone calls or whatnot, because your salesman's not able to go out there 5 days a week. He's only going out there 2 or 3 days a week. It's making him lazy. If you're able to get a killer out there 5 days a week and have somebody doing something else for him, he's not only going to make more money for himself and the company, but he's going to continue to have that drive as well.
And a lot of people are confused and think that you have to spend a lot of money to initially start like in making processes. So there's so much technology or like people that work in other countries that will work for $8 an hour and they will answer the phones. They will help just take something off of your back. And that is, time is the most valuable asset in my opinion.
Yeah, I always say like if you got to audit your time too. Like once like tracked every hour for like a couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. And I looked at where all my time was going, and it was all going over to these certain activities. And most of them were kind of easy and easy to pass off, to be honest with you. I liked it because it was comforting. And so I spent all my time, and then what I realized is I just need to pass off as much of that as I possibly can and move on to the next stuff. I think we just like to get comfortable in the stuff we know, even if it's not high value as a leader. Like it's very easy to get stuck in the easy, maybe even fun stuff. Like marketing is fun. I'll be honest, I love marketing. That's my current problem. I'm addicted to marketing, and sometimes I want to do that instead of sales or instead of leadership.
I've been having that actually. It's like pisses me off when I see other people make better videos than me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to learn how to do production quality better, and it's only helped our videos that we make for our company.
Yeah.
So it's only helped. We have some really good ones that are about to come out where it's not like, because we don't care about what other like companies necessarily think. I'd like to be friends with everyone and network with anyone, but if someone like didn't like it, so it's not like I give a fuck.
I want to be their friend. We don't want to be their
we're worried about our business and trying to make it better. That's the reason why I'm doing this anyway, is because trying to become better at making videos, because I think it's going to be an essential part of business. For the next forever.
No, I agree 100%. And it's so you do have to do the fun stuff that you actually doing to get your juices up, to make sure you're stoked to be at work. If there was 2 videos I would suggest every roofing company make, the one is a video that goes out right after somebody submits a contact form that just says exactly what's about to happen.
That's fire.
And then the other one would be a little video that could go underneath your submit form that just says what is about to happen if you submit this form. So it tells them, and it decreases the anxiety of submitting that. That's from They Ask You Answer or The Visual Sale. I don't remember which book, but both of those videos are really good for decreasing anxiety and increasing follow through.
That's awesome. I'm gonna do that with all my automated messages.
Oh yeah. Another thing is you can throw a little GIF of the beginning of the video into it, so it's like a play button on it, so it increases the click-through rate on the video too.
That's smart. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why people don't do that for every email that goes out. I mean, if you it makes it way more personalized for sure.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I usually do it for like the 1 or 2 minute thing, because the 1 or 2 minute, like, we want them to actually watch it. We also did a 7 question video that's like, we watch this before this, but it's 30 minutes, and I don't know if people really do watch it, but every once in a while, like lately, what I've noticed is more and more people are coming through. I wish everyone would do this, because more and more people are coming through like just prepped and ready to go as customers. Like, marketing isn't just selling or getting more leads, it's also filtering tire kickers and stuff you don't want. So the more questions you answer in video through automation like that, the more likely at the end of the day you're going to close more deals. There might be less leads. There actually might be a little bit less leads, but you're more likely to close the deals that you do get. And it's a weird balance, but I feel it because we have such a high flow of leads on our website that like it made sense once we did it, and then we just had easier to close deals. It's like, the fruit just kind of falls off the tree when you're talking to them,
And I love marketing. That's like when you were asking earlier, like going in to sign a $100,000 contract, and like the old person is looking at me. That's why I kind of made it like our slogan is the future of home improvement. So we come in with the newest technology, we come in with new ideas and innovation, and when you match that together and don't hide from the fact that you're young or a new company, and you're just upfront about it. I mean, I close every deal, so.
Hell yeah. Hey, you know what, Sam? I know why people hate on you, bro.
Why is that?
People are intimidated. I'm intimidated by you, bro. It's crazy to see somebody your age just gunning. Like it hurts a little bit, because guess what? If you're gunning like that, that means I could go a little faster and further too,
Yeah. And that's what we're saying, man. We're not saying, this is by no means to go against anyone or say that we're better than anyone, because our market is completely different than yours. You might have came here this year and done the same thing. I'm no one to say that, but we're just trying to improve. I've already learned something from you just by what you just said. I'm going to implement that in my business. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I learned something from every person I talk to, and by no means do we try to come across as like better than or anything like that.
We just want to be better.
We just want to be better, and on that continuous path of being better. It's not like whether someone, whether we went into bankruptcy next year, I'm coming back the year after that. It's not like if we were to lose, we would give up or any, and none of that. We're coming for everything, really. So
yeah, and a lot of the people I hang out with wouldn't be like hating in comments like that. I don't know anyone. The people I know are going to be encouraging and be like, "Holy shit, that's interesting. I want to know more. I want to know more." And
yeah.
There was quite a few like that. So by no means do I want to say it was all hate. I just thought it was an interesting dynamic when the market is presented with somebody winning as much as you guys are winning. Then it's skepticism. And how about we all just learn? I mean, I want to learn. Basically, I want to learn. I got to watch that when I'm feeling so competitive. Personally, when I feel so competitive when somebody else is winning, I need to focus on what can I learn from this situation, not how am I going to try to devalue that person's game.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny, like in our company, we're super competitive, but it's such a healthy level though. And that's the thing, where, some companies and maybe, they're getting strikes or anything like that. Us as a team, we genuinely all want to like the other person outside the other person almost in a sense, you know what I'm saying? But like also be the winner too, so, but
it's good.
Everybody would really, really kill it. So when we go sell these houses or someone gets a sale in a new neighborhood with horizons, it's just littered with horizons. They're all torched, and they got the install that day. Well, everyone else is coming in and hitting it too, and everyone's fine. We can do that. We can share it, but it's nice that we can come together and all do that, though.
Yeah,
and it's healthy competition. We all just want to be better together.
And another, I learned this from this guy, the Hammer. He's actually fucking super smart about.
Yeah, I know that dude. Yeah.
So,
Mike,
if you have a whole team that's doing that, and you have like a WhatsApp or whatever, and you take a picture of you closing like a fucking 60 square house and signing the piece of paper, everyone that's out there in that neighborhood just seen that and like got a hit of dopamine. Yeah. They all instantly got a hit of dopamine, and now all are going to go super hard and be on better, and it's just constantly bettering, it's constantly that's the 1% rule,
Hey, are you guys going to any conferences in the fall or spring or anything?
Yeah, we should be going to Dimitri's one. I'm not really know how many, but Dimitri's one I'm pretty sure.
Cool. Just curious.
I don't know.
I'll see you guys there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll be there. So I appreciate you guys spending the time. Thank you guys for hanging out. The podcast is put on by hookagency.com, Hook Agency all over social. How can people check you guys out?
You can go to VanguardGC.com. You can look up Vanguard GC on like Facebook, Twitter. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that.
Yeah, Sam Kohler, Shane Michael.
Yeah, you can just look up Shane Michael and this is the big guy benching your girlfriend.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for hanging.